what will he say? Wike. Because if you don't talk Wike, the candidate will not know you are supporting him. So the only way the candidate will know you are supporting him, go to channels, go to Arise, go to AIT, and say Wike.
Hi everyone, welcome to Legal Connect, welcome to this space, welcome to a brand new episode. I hope you've had a good week. I have had a very brilliant week, thank you very much, and was looking forward to today's episode. Today is Sunday, the 12th day of November 2023. I cannot actually believe that we've got weeks left in 2023, that we are heads on to 2024. However, we've still got some few weeks within 2023, and we can make a good use of these weeks before we say goodbye to 2023. However, welcome to the space where we talk about legal issues, or some of the legal issues that are affecting Nigeria and Nigerians. I hope you've enjoyed the last few episodes, and I encourage you to please leave your comments, smash the like button, and if you want to have a discussion based on what we've talked about on this space, I'm happy for you to leave your comment and we could have a meaningful discussion or debate. In regards to today's episode, before I dive in, I just want to encourage my listeners and viewers that are yet to subscribe to this space to hit that subscribe button, and also smash that notification bell to be notified when new materials are posted on this space. I don't want to bore you too much with the introduction, but I want us to look at one of the trending news item in relation to Nigeria. As I've said previously, Nigeria is a box office news flash, because every minute, every hour, and every day of the week, when you think of Nigeria, you think about headlines. So what do we have to talk about today? No other place than to go to the Federal Capital Territory, which is Abuja. And we are on this episode talking about the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That is no other person than Minister Nyesom. We know what a character he is when he was the governor, how he continued to party to celebrate all the project he has commissioned in that state, even though that is part of his original duty. But he hasn't stopped there. He's taking his prowess, he's taking his charisma, and now reside in the shores of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. What has he done this time around? On the news this week was the fact that he's been tried at court for contempt of court, that is disregarding the orders of the court. He thinks that he's above the law. Why has he been tried for contempt of court? When he assumed office a few weeks ago, the first thing he did, on the 27th of September, barely a month ago, he decided to relieve the heads of 21 parastatals, agencies and government companies of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, of their appointments with immediate effect, including the AMML organization, that is the Abuja Market Management Limited, AMML, and the managing director of that parastatal is Alhaji Farouk Abubakar. that is the managing director and chief executive officer of the Abuja Market Management Limited. And what did the managing director, what did he do? He went straight to court and got a restraining order and brought proceedings that he should not be relieved of his employment, and wanted the court to look into these affairs, and also in the meantime asked the court to grant an order for him to continue in this position, the status quo to be maintained until the substantive matter is decided in court, which is a reasonable move in my opinion, because if you are aggrieved by a decision taken by someone or your employer, you have the right to go to court, to have the matter in court, to have your day in court. But Wike, as is always is, decided to take the laws into his hands, decided that he's above the law and that the court is beneath him. He forgot that he's a minister, he's not the state governor of the Federal Capital Territory, rather he is answerable to the president. And he decided to do one thing. He sent armed policemen to seal up the office of the Abuja Market Management Limited, located in Gudu, the national capital, and prevented anyone gaining access into the building. That is a ridiculous act to have done. Why will you put a stop to a functioning body just because you want to prove a point, rather than him to go and appeal the decision of the court, which is the High Court, the Federal High Court, and the National Industrial Court, rather than go and appeal those decisions. You have the right to appeal, not to take the laws into your hands. But what did he do? He decided to disregard the order of the court restraining him from relieving or sacking the managing director of the AMML. Let me get that acronym right. AMML, that is the Abuja Market Management Limited. So, for you to disregard the court order, that is contempt of court. So he's been tried for that. And today I wanted to look at the power that Wike has. Where does he derive his power from? He is not a state governor, because Abuja is not a state. So let's look at how Wike gets his power, and if what he's doing is right or is allowed by the law for him to disregard the court's order. So the first point of call is the Constitution, because that is the apex law in this country. So we go to the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. And if we start off from section 147, section 147 subsection 1 reads, there shall be such offices of ministers of the government of the federation as may be established by the president. So basically that is self-explanatory. The president has the power to create ministerial offices as he pleases. Any appointment to the office of minister of the government of the federation shall, if the nomination of any person to such office is confirmed by the Senate, be made by the president. So that is why we saw the take a bow and go recently. The president makes the nomination, the Senate approves the nomination. The Senate is supposed to scrutinize before approving, screen and before approving. But what we saw was a drama in the Senate floor where the senators, the nominees, introduce themselves, and all the senator says is that take a bow and go. Take a bow and go. They failed Nigerians to carry out their function of scrutinizing these people in order to assure Nigerians that they are fit and proper persons to take those offices. So let's go to subsection 3. Any appointment under subsection 2 of this section by the president shall be in conformity with the provisions of section 14 subsection 3 of this constitution. That is section 14 subsection 3 of this constitution, provided that in giving effect to the provisions aforesaid, the president shall appoint at least one minister from each state who shall be an indigene of such state. Where a member of the National Assembly or of a House of Assembly is appointed as minister of the government of the Federation, he shall be deemed to have resigned his membership of the National Assembly or of the House of Assembly on his taking the oath of office as minister. No person shall be appointed as a minister of the government of the Federation unless he is qualified for election as a member of the House of Representatives. Subsection 6. An appointment to any of the offices aforesaid shall be deemed to have been made where no return has been received from the Senate within 21 working days of the receipt of nomination by the Senate. So basically, what I want us to take from this section 147, subsection 1 through to 6, is the fact that the president has the power to create an office and appoint ministers of government. And if we go to the next section, that is section 302, section 302 of the Constitution, section 302 of the Constitution states, however, if we look at section 297 down to section 301, it talks about the creation of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And then section 302, section 302, the president may, this is may, not shall, may, in exercising of the powers conferred upon him by section 147 of this constitution, appoint for the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, a minister who shall exercise such powers on and perform such functions as may be delegated to him by the president from time to time. So this is very clear. The delegation is, as said, from time to time. So what will you say is the current power given to this minister to perform the functions of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja? The Constitution gives the president the power to create this position, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And it is not mandatory that the president creates this office. The president may create it. The president now has decided to create a minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. In terms of looking at the powers of the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, now we need to go way back. This is 1990. The Federal Capital Territory Act, Laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1990. So there is an act which is chapter 128, which is of the Federal Capital Territory Act. And if you go to section 18 of that act, section 18 states that as from the 28th May 1984, the president has delegated to the minister of the Federal Capital Territory the following functions, that is to say, any function or power conferred on the chairman of the Federal Capital Development Authority under this act. Any executive power of the federal government vested in the president pursuant to section 263 subsection A or any other section of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and exercisable within the Federal Capital Territory. Any function or power conferred by any law set out in the second schedule of this act vested in the governor or military governor of a state. The powers vested in the president by section 1, subsection 1D, Roman figure 1 of the Public Office Special Provision Act, and such other function as the president may from time to time confer on the minister. And then you look at section 19, the power delegated to the minister under the provisions of section 1 of this act shall not include the exercise within the Federal Capital Territory of any executive or other functions of the Federation by the President, the Judicial Service Commission, or any other federal government authority. Any power expressly accepted under any other law, instrument, or otherwise howsoever. So, it is blurry as to what powers Minister Wike actually holds in terms of this matter. Does he have the power to resign or require all government parastatals relieve them of their position? And as we've witnessed, the managing director and chief executive officer of the Abuja Market Management Limited, Alhaji Farouk Abubakar, is of the opinion that the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, lacks that power to relieve him of his position. Hence, he went to the court to contest that decision. And you would have expected the minister, who should understand what power he possesses, to have contested or appealed the decision, but rather he took the laws into his hands. He decided that he is above the law, that the decision or the order of the court does not apply to him, and then instructed the police, the mobile armed police, to go and seal off the AMNL's offices. And you would have expected that the head of the police services would also seek directives either from the Department of Public Prosecution as to the powers of the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, whether they are required to obey the court order or listen to Minister Wike, who decided that he is above the law and the court's order does not apply to him. This is a developing story, because I don't think the minister has the power to relieve the heads of 21 parastatals and agencies and government companies without the president approving it. And there is no report at the moment to say that the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave him such power to do that. And in terms of the provisions of the law, it is not 100% clear that he has such power to do what he's done. And I have continuously talked about how politicians, government agencies, government officers disregard the law. They expect us, the citizens of this country, to obey the law, whereas they are supposed to be championing, they are supposed to obey the law, find it difficult to understand that they are required as public servants, as public officers, to tread, to behave, to make decisions according to the law. We are not under a military rule. We are under a civilian rule. We are under a government that has been brought into power as a result of the law of the land. And you will expect such government to put at the front of their affairs the law. If the law says don't do this, you desist from doing that, but rather you continue to see these officers ignoring the provisions of the law, and all this trickles down. It saddens my heart that people that you respect to be an advocate of the rule of law, an advocate that we need to obey the law, we need to work within the ambit of the law. Those are the same people that disregard the law. Even if what you're doing is acceptable, what you're doing is the progression of the country, you're trying to normalize a structure. When you do it outside of the law, it becomes irrelevant, because you are not better off than the people that you're asking to leave their position. I would have expected him, as he has been appointed into such position, rather than just give a blanket sack to all the heads of the parastatals and agencies of government. I would have expected him to engage with each agency and come to understand what the problem is, why these are not functioning, rather than you sack them. For me, what he wants to do is to bring in his cronies, his friends into such position, rather than looking at the best candidates. The O21 parastatals and agencies and government companies, they cannot all be corrupt. All the heads cannot all be corrupt. It might be that they are not functioning as one would expect them to function. We understand that the past government was very, very laid back, and that could trickle down to the officers. We understand that the law have been disregarded in the previous administration, and he's coming in with the intention to repair all the damage that has been done. And now look at what he's doing. He's sacked all these heads of the parastatals, and he expects that we start from scratch. Why do we always have to start from scratch? You give people the benefit of doubt. You tell people that, okay, this is what I want you to be doing going forward. And if they don't do it, you can sack them. If there is no change, you can sack them. Not bringing new people. And these people that they're going to bring in is people that are going to bribe him, or people that are going to, that he has promised that he's going to alleviate. He's not going to tell me that he's going to put people there based on their merit. He didn't even get his position based on his merit. If you understand that he is a PDP member and he helped APC to win the vote in order to get this ministerial position. So him coming to such position, his hands are not clean. And for what he's done now, first of all, relieving these heads of agencies of their offices is detrimental to the continuance of governance. And not only that, him disregarding the court's order is blatant and is criminal in my opinion. You cannot disregard the court order. No matter how corrupt the court is, you still have to obey. Everybody knows that Tinubu did not win the election. Everybody knows that the decisions from the Court of Appeal, the Electoral Court of Appeal, down to the Supreme Court were all manipulated. Evidence were disregarded. But because they have the authority, the Constitution gives them that authority, everybody accepted it. Even though we didn't like it, but we accepted the decision. And we expect this government to do the same thing. Respect the Constitution, respect the order of the court, irrespective of how detrimental it is to your person. Irrespective how disappointed you are with the decisions of the court, you still need to respect it. I hope his friends should advise him that it is wrong to disregard the orders of the court. I don't blame him 100%. I blame the courts because they've put themselves in this position. They've compromised their integrity, and now the same governors, the same ministers, the same politicians that they are protecting with the adopted decisions that they've made in the past, and now they want disregarding them because they look at them that you don't have integrity. Why should I listen to you? So I would expect for the continuance of governance that we can recall the armed policemen that he stationed at the AMML secretariat or offices, so that even the junior members of staff can carry on the affairs of government while the court look at the substantive matter. At the head of the AMML, that's Alhaji Farouk Abubakar, should continue in his position until the court decides the substantive matter. And I respect Minister Wike to put himself at the ambit of the law. He should respect the law. And if he's agreed by the order of the court, you have the right to appeal. No one is stopping you from making such appeal. Don't take the laws into your hands, please. We should change the affairs of Nigeria. Nigeria should change. Tinubu promised us that it is not business as usual, that he's going to listen to the people, even though we know he's not. And behaviors like this shows to us that we are in for a long run, because we, the masses, we the people are the ones that is going to suffer, because the court has compromised itself. The government don't listen to the court anymore. So I would expect Wike to listen to the court, obey the court order, allow the status quo to be maintained until you have a decision, the court's decision. Whether it favors you or not, you have to respect the court's decision. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please leave your comments if you think Wike has done the right thing. My opinion is that he hasn't done the right thing, irrespective of what he's trying to do in Abuja. He still needs to do that within the provisions of the law. So I will expect him to obey the law, allow the status quo to be maintained until the final decision of the court is heard. Irrespective of the urgency of what he wants to do, he's got 4 years. I hope, as everyone has listened to the Supreme Court and accepted the decision of the Supreme Court, even though we are aggrieved, I hope those in power, those in government, also learn to listen to the court and appeal any decisions that they don't accept, and accept the final decision from the apex court and change their policies. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please smash that like button, leave your comments, and I hope to come to you next time with a brand new episode. And as I said before, if you know you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. I look forward to reading your comments and also to bring you a new episode in the near future. Take care now, and bye bye.